Welcome back to the Chicago Tomahawk. I'm Mike, and I got my line mate Matt with me. And today, we're going to talk about the last few Blackhawks games. We're going to talk about Michigan's Adam Fantilli. He's been popping up a lot. And we're going to talk about some NHL news. So, Matt, Blackhawks played the Flames. They lost. They won 4-3. I was anticipating this happening. I told a friend, like, hey, man, I didn't think that the Hawks were going to win. Then I'm like, you know what? They're going to try and play spoiler. They ended up doing it. And I'm kind of, I wouldn't say not surprised, but they've been playing pretty good as a team. Matt, what do you think of that Flames game?
Yeah, man, there's no quit in the Hawks. They're not that good on paper, but they'll compete. And like you said, I think they might have played spoiler role against the Flames because I think they're out of it now. I don't think they're got any chance of getting in. I mean, that's a must-win game if you're the Flames. There's no reason why you can't beat the last place team. You got to get desperate and do anything you can to win, and they just it's a heartbreaker for them, but I'm sure Sutter gave it to him in the locker room because that can't happen.
A lot of people in Calgary are unhappy with Sutter.
Yeah, I don't know why, because last year he was a godsend, and I feel like he was on Twitter and, Twitter highlights and stuff, I guess if you want to call them that, or, all the GIFs and stuff, the memes.
Sure.
They were praising him. They love his pressers, like he's just, pretty honest, kind of funny.
I think he had to take a shit.
Yeah, he had to take a shit. He's fine. I mean, people loved him, and then this year the team doesn't perform, they go right after the coach. That's Bush. Right. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. To be honest with you, it's kind of like they're kind of turning on him over there.
Well, here's the thing. You lost Johnny Hockey and you lost Matthew Tkachuk. You lost two very important players, and you replaced them with Huberdeau and
Mackenzie Weegar.
And Weegar.
Yeah.
And they're good players, but they're not Johnny Hockey and Matthew Tkachuk together. I mean, those guys put 100 points each up. So that's probably why you're not as good as you think you are. So you can't blame the coach on that one.
Matthew Tkachuk is going to put up 100 points again.
Yeah, that was a great podcast last episode we did on good Matthew Tkachuk talking. Like we said, stay out of the penalty box. You might put in 200 points.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. If you told me we're going to make a bet, Matthew Tkachuk is being traded for Jonathan Huberdeau, who do you think is going to be the next one to score 100 points again, Matthew Tkachuk or Jonathan Huberdeau? And I would have chosen Jonathan Huberdeau. Yeah. If it was last year.
Yeah, I think I would too. And Matthew, it's different. You get traded to a new city and you get new line mates. Sometimes it takes a while to find some chemistry. And Matthew Tkachuk's the reason why they're still in the playoff hunt over there. He's keeping that team relevant. And I know his dad has said stuff about the Panthers as an organization. He goes, they're super soft and kind of a dig. And I mean, his son's on the team. And we know his son is not soft, but it's almost like, hey, you better get my kids some help down there and some hard-nosed players because you guys were President's Trophy winners last year, and you're barely in the second wild card spot. So let's figure it out.
They have a different coaching situation now.
Yeah, Paul Maurice, he hasn't really done much. He's kind of like you said before in the past. The coaching, what'd you call it? The coaching
Carousel.
There you go. It just they kind of recycle a coach and, hey, we don't like him here. We're firing him, and a new coach or a new team will pick him up. And it's like, hey, he's good for about 2 years, and then it's the same thing. And then they just kind of keep recycling him. And yeah, I'm not sure. I thought Andrew Brunette, he kind of got not a fair shot. We remember what happened with Q, obviously. They kind of ran him off the team with the whole 2010 stuff. Yeah. And Brunette kind of, took over and he kind of did the same thing Q was doing. And he did a good job. He got the team their first President's Cup trophy and just couldn't get past the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round. But, I mean, Tampa's been in the final 3 years in a row. It's kind of a hard thing to do. So
it's kind of hard to fire a guy for that,
Yeah, and he ends up going to New Jersey as an associate coach with Lindy Ruff, and look at the Devils. So obviously
the guy, playoffs.
He's got a good hockey mind. So it worked out for him.
It did, definitely. The Blackhawks got blanked by the Canucks. I will tell you one thing I did notice about that game is something. The Canucks is a Quinn Hughes, man, he's such a great skater.
Heard he's the next captain, man. I heard that's the rumor.
Yeah, I don't see why not. You know,
those Hughes boys are good. They're good players.
He's pretty honest in the pressers. He's a great hockey player, man. I love watching him skate. Yeah, they are good players, and they all seem to be very different. Obviously, one thing that they all have in common that I've seen so far between Quinn and Jack is their skating ability, because Jack is a very good skater. Quinn is a very good skater as well. But Luke Hughes is going to be making his debut. He signed a 3-year deal with the New Jersey Devils. He's going to be making his debut pretty soon. I want to see that guy. He's the biggest out of all of them. I think he's 6'2". The other guys are like 5'10" and under.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got the same parents.
Yeah, who knows? Like Michael Jordan said, my brother's 5'10", my dad's 5'10". The milkman's 6'7". But yeah, you never know. But if that's the case, he might not have that same hockey ability then. So you never know.
Well, he's a defenseman, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So
it's hard, man.
It might be a good thing for the Devils. I'm not really sold on the team's back end and the goaltending, but clearly they know how to score goals.
Yes. Yeah, they do. Taylor Raddish's regular season is over. He's got a groin injury, 20 goals, career high. I really like the guy, man. I think that he had an opportunity this year to kind of show what he's got. And I think if he had better line mates, he'd put up 30.
Yeah, possibly. I think if he maybe played with Kaner a little bit more.
Yeah.
And maybe a full season with Reichel will help.
I mean, if they told him, like, hey, Taylor, we're looking for you to score goals this season, not like the smorgasbord of what's been going on this season. They're like, hey, we're going to put you on the wing with Reichel. We want you to fire it in. That's going to be your job. I think that he could put up 30 if he did that.
Is he up for a contract, I believe?
Let me check.
I think
I'm not sure.
So if that's the case, he might be a restricted free agent, so we do have some leverage with that. But I have heard rumors of some teams sniffing around for him, so he possibly could get traded at the draft. But personally, I hope we keep him and give him maybe 2-year deal, give him a fair share. I mean, put up 20 goals with a bad team, and that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't see. He's in year 2 of a 3-year contract right now.
Okay, so we got him another year.
Another year. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think that he's a. In 2024, he's going to be a restricted free agent.
Yeah, so we still have the leverage.
Yeah,
we can keep him and bridge him or something.
I like him, man. I think that he's I think that he's going to continue to grow. He's 6'2", 209 pounds. So he could turn into a power forward. He's not done developing yet, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely has more of a chance here than he would have with Tampa.
In Tampa, right?
Yeah.
So, Seattle will be Lukas Reichel's last NHL game this season. I'll tell you what, man.
Tonight, yeah.
This kid, yesterday, it was during the Canucks game. This kid, man, got the puck and just turned the jets on and gave himself an opportunity to shoot. Got by 2 players. I was really shocked by his speed. I mean, I've seen him skate quick before, but just the separation that he was able to do. I think Lukas Reichel is going to be the steal of his draft. He was drafted number 17. He looks great, man, and I think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, I've seen him play live when he was with Rockford playing the Wolves. I probably seen him 4 times that year. And he was the best player on Rockford by like a mile. He was so creative. Explosive is a good word. Like he can catch a pass kind of coasting and then just turn it up and go right through a guy. And I've noticed that lately in his second run up here, if you want to call it that, where he was the most dynamic player on the ice for us, even when we had Patrick Kane in the lineup. This guy kind of reminded me of like Havlat, like when he came up, like every time Havlat was on the ice with the puck, like you're like, oh shit, this guy can create a scoring chance at every shift, and that's what it seemed like. And if he can get to that level where he's the man, which he probably will be next year. If we don't get anybody, in this next draft named Bedard, but I think he'll be that guy that the Hawks are going to lean on.
Yeah. He seems to be creating on every shift. I've seen him make some really good passes. He's been trying to set up some really, really good goals. I like him, man. I really like this kid. I think he's going to come in stronger next year. And I'm looking to see him to continue to develop. He'll be a full-timer next year.
He has to be. And if they dick around with him again, you're just going to piss off a lot of fans, including myself. Yeah. You got to give him 100%. His full 82. Give him a good line mate. Make him succeed. Give him a good chance to succeed. And that's all you can ask for.
So I want to talk about Adam Fantilli. He's somebody that I mentioned to you before, and you seemed pretty kind of down on it. Look, I understand. I understand. What we want is Connor Bedard, and it makes a lot of sense. But Adam Fantilli, I've mentioned to you, previously before that I like the kid. I think that he's mature for his age, and I think that he's he could be a leader for the Hawks, in the future. Are you starting to warm up to this kid a bit?
Well, after that World Juniors I watched, before I wasn't, this guy's just going to be the second guy to get drafted, and it's a huge drop off. And maybe it's not as big of a drop off as I thought, because he put up 30 goals in the NCAA. The Big Ten, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty impressive, putting 30 in 36 games. That's dominant. That's dominant. And he won the Hobey Baker as the top college player in the nation. And it's really impressive. I know it's kind of a jinx because the Hawks have signed guys in the past that won the award. I think that there was another guy too. I forgot. It was like during the Stanley Cup runs, they would bring in a guy, and I think Jimmy Hayes was one too.
Was he?
He might have been. Somebody else too. I forget. I think his name was Carey or something. I forget, but he was a bust. But this kid, he's going to be a really good silver medal. At the draft. So if we say we don't get number 1 and we get number 2, Hawks fans got to be happy with this, because this is a guy you could build your team around. And, he's clearly a shoot first guy, which Reichel is a pass first guy. So you got to think hey, that's going to work out great. Either way, whoever we're going to get, Bedard or Fantilli or whoever number 3 is, Lukas Reichel is going to be a good line mate for these guys in the future, and that's what I'm excited about.
Okay, I'm going to name since the year 2000 Hobey Baker Award winners: Mike Matau, Ryan Miller,
okay,
Jordan Leopold, Peter Sena,
nope,
Junior Lassard, Marty Surdich, Matt Carl.
So we know 2, 3. I know Matt Carl.
Ryan Duncan.
No.
Kevin Porter.
Bust.
Matt Gilroy.
Bust.
Blake Gifrion.
Bust.
Andon Miley.
Bust.
Jack Connolly.
Bust.
This is the one you're talking about. Drew LeBlanc.
Bust.
Johnny Gaudreau.
Not a bust.
Jack Eichel.
Not a bust.
Jimmy Vesey.
He's still playing.
He is, but he's not like a top guy, like the best player coming out of college.
Yeah.
Okay. Will Butcher.
Who? Sounds like a butcher's name.
Adam Gaudette.
We had him. He pretty good player, but no, it's a bust.
Cale Makar.
He's pretty good.
Scott Purnovich.
No.
Cole Caulfield.
Yes. Gonna be good.
Dryden McKay.
No.
Adam Fantilli.
So he's in bad company.
Yeah.
So I mean, what? 6 probably that we.
Yeah.
Ryan Miller being the first one.
The last 23 years.
Johnny Hockey. Matt Carl was a good player.
He was a defenseman that could play, but if he's the Hobey Baker Award winner, you're thinking you're practically getting a number 1 pick, kind of.
I did not know Cale Makar was a Hobey Baker winner.
I didn't know that either.
That's news for me.
Yeah.
That's crazy because he's been, obviously probably the best defenseman in the world right now, close.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I didn't know that.
Interesting. Always interesting when you get to kind of pull that stuff out.
Yeah, Johnny Hockey, I know he was a big. I think he went like 5th in the draft that year. He wasn't. He was a later pick, I think.
Oh, okay.
And he was clearly his thing was, he's too small to play, and
right.
I remember Kaner would. I think Kaner had like a talk with him. He's like, they told me the same thing, kid. So, and we know Kaner's been dominant. Johnny Hockey's got great numbers too. Just picked the wrong team, I think, this summer.
Yeah, no kidding. So I already mentioned Luke Hughes signs his 3-year entry-level contract and joins the Devils. That's going to be really interesting. I want to see how this kid pans out, so I'm going to be looking to watch the Devils coming up this week. I wonder when his first game is.
If they're going to play the Rangers, are you going to cheer for them?
Oh, my God.
Are you going for Kaner just so they make the final, the Eastern final, so we get that first-round pick instead of the second?
I don't think I can do it, man.
Yeah, I'm not a big New York guy. I never will be. That's in all sports, and you can even say hockey, politics if you want to, because I can't stand it. But I don't know, man. I've heard rumors like they want to bring Kaner back, and I'm just how
they're going to do that.
How are you going to pay your guys? Like, I don't get that. So
I thought it would be Tarasenko, that they would be looking to bring Tarasenko.
Yeah,
back.
we talked about that. He's the sniper, and you need guys that shoot. Snipers are a dime a dozen.
Right.
And that's what I like about Fantilli. He's a shooter. He can put goals in, and we need a guy like that. We haven't had
We do.
Who's the last best Hawks goal scorer, you think? You can go back as far as you want.
The last best
I'm
Hawks
saying
goal
JR.
scorer?
I'm saying JR or Armani.
I would have to say Kaner, man.
Yeah, but Kaner, he's consistent like a 30 guy. Roenick was a 40-50 guy.
Yeah,
even Armani was a 40 guy.
Yeah, but Kaner was better than JR though.
No, I'm talking about goals.
Oh,
I'm
just
talking about
scoring?
just G's. Yeah, no apples. I think you got to go with JR.
Maybe Tony Armani, man.
Yeah, he never put 50 in, but he put 40s. A lot of 40s.
Yeah, a lot of 40s. He put up some 40s.
He down a lot of 40s.
A regular 35 guy. I think he was our last one. The one before that, I'd have to say JR.
Yeah, I mean, JR 50-50, then 40s. And that was a hard time to score, too. And he still was, putting up great numbers. We haven't had a guy like that in a long time.
No,
a guy that we know Kane could put up the points, no problem, but not known for the goals.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping we find that sniper. It's been a long time. The 90s? It
has.
Jeez.
All right. So before we go any further, I got to let everybody know that the action never ends at DraftKings Sportsbook, especially this summer. With tons of ways to bet on all your favorite sports, you can fuel your fandom and feel the heat of this season like never before. Plus, right now, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving new customers a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's right, make your first bet up to $1,000, and if it doesn't win, you'll get another shot to cash in. Now, you can throw down on all the major action for hockey, baseball's back, basketball, golf, MMA, and more. Heck, the playoffs are starting for hockey and basketball very soon. Best of all, DraftKings Sportsbook is safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Blackhawks have 2 good games coming this week versus the Wild and the Penguins. I'm really looking forward to that Penguins matchup, because that might be the last time Sidney Crosby and Jonathan Toews play against each other. Typically, surprisingly, Jonathan Toews typically comes out on top in these matchups. So, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Make your first deposit and get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's promo code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. Now, back to the podcast. Tampa Bay Lightning will take on the Leafs for a second year in a row in the first round. Austin Matthews had a few things to say about that. He says that what did he say? The Leafs in 4, you can take it to the bank. Yeah. Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said we got home ice advantage, and he should not. I don't know if that's legit, but if he did say that, you got to back it up now, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. I mean, especially when they whooped you. Actually, I think it's the 3rd year in a row. It could be the third year, but definitely back to back.
No, they played the Canadiens, then they played Tampa, and now they play Tampa again.
Okay. Oh,
remember they went out against the Canadiens in what, 7?
You're right.
Weren't they up 3-1 or something like that?
Yep, you're right. They choked. Carey Price
took it 7.
The team. Yeah,
took it 7 last year.
This is gonna be a great series. This is gonna be the best, probably the most exciting series, round 1 at least. So
yeah,
I'm really excited about it. I think that was, if that's true, if he did say that, that's very stupid. That's almost
crazy.
like Mark Messier guaranteeing a win, but he backs it up with a hattie. So yeah, man, I look at the numbers right now. I know the goal differential is good for the Leafs. They're a plus 54, and Tampa's only a plus 25. But still, you got to give the goaltending edge to the Lightning with Vasilevsky. He's still one of the best in the game. You know, he's been in the Cup 3 years in a row, 2-1. He's actually 2-2 if you want to consider the 2015 loss to the Hawks, but I don't think he played as much. But yeah, Matthews is kind of having a down year, if you want to call it that. I think he's at like 40, and he had 60 last year. I don't know, man. I think this is the year. I know I like what the Leafs they did this year at the deadline. Ryan O'Reilly is a solid pickup, but is he going to be healthy? I know he's got that broken. I think he's got a broken hand or something. But you got to figure he's going to be playing against Braden Point and Kucherov and Hagel, that first line. So he's gonna have a tough task.
We have got in the Eastern Conference, Carolina has locked it up. New Jersey has locked it up. The Rangers locked it up. Boston locked it up. Toronto and Tampa. In the wild card, we've got Pittsburgh, Florida, the Islanders, Buffalo, Ottawa, and Detroit.
Detroit's mathematically eliminated.
They are?
Yep. Ottawa might be too. But Buffalo, they have a game. They have 78 games. So if Buffalo wins out, they could win. They could sneak in. And that's pretty impressive because I didn't have Buffalo even close.
Yeah, me too.
So that's why, we're jumping off topic a little bit. But I still think if Buffalo can sneak their way in, that might be appealing for Kaner in the summer.
The Islanders turned it around too because they had a really bad year last year.
Oh, God, yeah. You know what, though? You go back and you look, they had 15 straight away games because the building wasn't ready. That's kind of bullshit.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the NHL's fault. It's more the Islanders and their planning and stuff, I guess you want to call it that. But,
yeah,
I mean, that's kind of bullshit. That's a long time to be away from home. And that weighs on guys, they're humans. They got to see their families and stuff, and it had to be tough. But yeah, they had a good bounce back year. They're 40-30, and they're right there, man. I think Pittsburgh's got they got 90 points. They are 40-32. They got 10 OT losses. That helps. But it's going to be exciting, man, this race. It's going to be like grind your way in and just get bounced by Boston if you're the last guy. Boston locked this freaking season up, and if you want to say January. yeah. So, but I'm going back to this series, man. I think it's going to come down to the goaltending and the experience. I gotta give it to Tampa, man. I think Tampa's going to silence them again. The Maple Leafs are going to probably have a fire sale, probably blame the coach, and maybe move a top guy, maybe.
Yeah, they'd have to. So I want to look at this Tampa Bay team for a little bit, and actually a very staggering statistic here. Steven Stamkos has played in 78 games this season. I'm very surprised. 33 goals, 47 assists. He's got 80 points, but he's a -5.
Yeah, that's surprising. 80 points is still impressive, man. You got to think that's a point a game, point a game player.
Here's another one. Actually, here's two more. Braden Point, 79 games played, 48 goals. There's a possibility he could hit 50 goals. 42 assists, 90 points. He's a +3.
Yeah, and look at the guy on top, Cooch.
30 goals, 78 assists in 79 games played, 108 points, great production. He's an even 0.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But look at Hags.
Hags, yeah, man. It's 28 goals. He could be a 30-goal scorer this year. He's got 4 games to do it. 28 goals, 33 assists, 61 points.
That's awesome.
And he's
Good
a
for
plus.
him.
And he's a plus 23, but that's the type of guy he is. So that's the type of player he is.
Yep.
He plays hard both ends of the ice.
Well, he's saving that team. He's probably the reason why Point and Cooch aren't, minus freaking 10.
Yeah.
And he's playing good D.
Sergachev's a plus 60.
No, plus 10.
I'm sorry, plus 10.
That'd been incredible. Oh my God. Yeah.
Corey Perry's a minus 26.
I saw that. Well, yeah, you know what though? For him, 12 goals and 13 points for your fourth liner. That's pretty damn good, man. That's what you ask for. You at least get over, getting the double digits.
Get some production,
Him and Patty Maroon's a little bit down, but look at the penalty minutes, 143.
143, holy
Corey
smoke.
Perry's at 90. These guys can agitate the shit out of you in a game. They're going to drive guys crazy.
They're also going to go to the penalty box.
But I like that. I like that edge that Corey Perry brings. He's the guy, he's got the most punchable face in the world. Like, you just hate him, and he can chirp, but he's just a good hockey player. He was so good on those Ducks teams. Like, I hated him, but he was good. It was like him and Kessler. You just like, I freaking hate these guys, man, but they're good players. But
you know what? I hated Kessler until he played on Team USA. And I saw that line that he had when he played with him and Kaner. I was like, dude, is this the only line that's putting it out there, producing?
Yeah, it was him, Kaner, and Kessel.
Yeah.
And then they had Parise and
he didn't do shit.
Pavelski and somebody else on the other line. Yeah, Parise dropped off the face of the earth once he left New Jersey.
Completely.
He
took that contract. Mistake. He was like, "Oh man, I'm good."
Biggest mistake of his life was leaving the Devils. I didn't like that. He put 40 goals. He would have had a better statistical career if he stayed there. He would have been the man there. He probably still would have been there, and he would have been okay. He'd be obviously winding down a little bit. I know he's with the Islanders because Lou brings all his old Devils buddies back. It seems
he
like.
Does. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's just crazy that Team USA that year, 2010, that was a great team, and there was rumors like they wanted to bring Kessler over to center Kane because they wanted. Can you imagine that? I bet you him and Taves would be fighting every practice.
They would have. Yeah. They would have. But you know what? They probably would have been the best 1-2.
Oh God!
Center punch dude. Who would be able to stop that? Kessler was a 40-goal scorer once, and he never played with Patrick Kane.
Yeah,
he could have been a 50-goal guy.
I don't even think he played with the Sedins.
That would have been. Yeah. That would have been our two top lines would have been 2 Selke guys.
Well, that's why Detroit was good. They always had, Zetterberg and Datsuk are both Selke-like dudes, too. That's what made them so dangerous. They got
strong down the middle.
It's like, all right, you guys play paper, scissors, rock and see who's going to be the scoring line tonight. You guys the loser has to be the Selke line. So it's very valuable to have.
John Tavares has 77 games played this season. He had a pretty good bounce back from that injury that he had. 33 goals, 43 assists, 76 points, but he's a -8.
Yeah, so he's probably playing against, the other team's top guys, but I think that's why they probably brought Ryan O'Reilly in.
Right.
Just to kind of, I didn't realize.
Offset that.
I'm looking at Morgan Riley. I'm like 4 goals, 36 points. I thought that was Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly, he's got 9 games played with the Leafs, and he's only got 5 points. But I forget. Oh, so he's had 15 goals this season with the Blues and the Leafs, and he's a very terrible year for him. -23, 24 points. But he did look good in his first games, with the Leafs. He had good players around him, and he seemed to have like a good kind of rejuvenation type of thing. Like, hey, I got a fresh start here. I get surrounded by good players. I'm going to get going. And then I think he broke his hand. Something. Yeah. So hopefully he's ready to go, man, because he's got a tough job coming up.
He does. Mark Giordano had 4 goals, 20 assists this year. This guy's, man, he continues to contribute. 24 points, plus 27. Very impressive for Mark Giordano at 53 penalty minutes.
For a 39-year-old, too, man. That's crazy.
Very impressive, the production that he's doing. And he's not getting scored on. David Kampf, our old favorite fourth liner, 78 games played, 7 goals, 19 assists. This is
you got to put the C on that guy.
This is an Art Ross season for David Kampf.
You got to
26 points. But look at this. He's only a +6, which surprises me. 8 penalty minutes means he's not in the box and he's not costing his team anything. So that's good.
Yeah, good for him.
Let's see here. So yeah, everyone Tavares, Austin Matthews, he's got 4 games left. He's at 38 goals, so it's safe to say he's going to be a 40-goal scorer.
40, yeah.
42 assists, probably 82 points. He's a +29.
Pretty damn good, man.
Yeah, that is. That's good for him. 20 penalty minutes. William Nylander, 78 games played, 37 goals. He could be a 40-goal guy. Possibly. That's huge because he's not getting paid as a 40-goal guy. 45 assists, 82 points. He is a +9. 26 minutes in the penalty box. And we'll round it out with Mitch Marner, 77 games, 28 goals. He could hit 30. 67 assists, 95 points. There's a possibility he could hit 100, but 5 points in 2 games. I mean, he could do it.
Clearly, he's one of the most important guys on that team.
He is. And you know what?
They overlooked him.
I think that he's an overlooked, like he's like the overlooked main guy. It's kind of like how somewhat Kaner was back in the day with Taves, because Taves didn't get in any trouble. You know, he was winning everything, you know, and it kind of centered around him a little bit. But if you looked at the points, Kaner is putting up majority of all the points.
Well,
so
I'll tell you this: Mitch Marner has been in the league for 7 years. He has 90 points 3 times, and no lower than 61 points. So that's pretty damn good. His rookie year, he scored 61 points. Next year, 69. Next year, 94. Then 67 in 59 games played. And then 55 games played. Hold
on. You said 64 in 59 games?
67. 2020.
Games?
The 2020 season.
Okay.
So they canceled the season.
He would have been a 100-point guy.
Points. Then 2020, 21. I'm sorry. Yeah. I guess that was the COVID year. So we got 55 games, 67 again. Then the full season. Well, actually, it wasn't a full season for him. 72 games played, 97 points.
Holy smoke.
And then this year, he's at 95 points in 77 games. So clearly he's overlooked, obviously, because Matthews is, putting 60 in.
Yeah.
But it's I was going to say it kind of reminds me of Draisaitl, but he gets respect still.
Yeah.
He's still getting respect. But Mitch is kind of like in the shadows of Matthews, it seems like. And if you took Mitch away, I don't think, the Nylander would be having the season he's having, or whoever he's playing with. Mitch is clearly the man.
I would say that if they're looking to drop Nylander, or if they're looking to drop a big-time guy, I would want to take Marner or Nylander.
I am not even discussing getting rid of Mitch. I mean, it's got to be somebody else. And honestly, if you think you're going to lose Matthews for nothing at the deadline, like you don't think he's going to resign, I mean, you got to do everything you can to keep Mitch, because if you lose Mitch too, you're in big trouble.
Huge.
Yeah, big trouble. Because Tavares is getting older. He's still good, but he's not your main piece. He's not
who he was when he was with the Islanders.
Yeah, he'll never be that. Good leader, something that they needed. Good for, obviously they overpaid the hell out of him to get him, which is what the Leafs, they wanted. They wanted that.
They wanted him. He was hometown guy.
Yeah. You just needed to think about your 2 future studs that you got to make that work. And Mitch is not going to get paid like Matthews, but maybe he should be. He should be.
100% he should. If Matthews is asking for $15 million, if I was if I was Mitch Marner, I would say I want at least $1 million more than him.
Yeah, but he probably won't because, most teams just look at the goal scoring and they think you put 60 and you're the man. But
yeah,
I mean, some guys, like look at Adam Oates back in his career. He'd get like 10 goals and he'd have like 90 assists.
Yeah.
And that's like, dude, that's unbelievable.
So think of it this way. You have, Austin Matthews comes to you, he's like, yeah, I'm going to score 60. It's like, okay. But Mitch Marner comes over, he goes, I'm only going to score 30, but I'm going to get maybe 3 to 4 other guys to score 30 too.
Yeah.
And it's like, so what do? You go with the guy who's going to not only pot in 30, but he's going to get everybody else to score 30 too.
Well, here, let me give you a live update right now. So today is the 8th, correct?
Yes.
So the Leafs just beat the Canadiens 7-1. Mitch Marner scored the first goal of the game, 29th, and he scored in the second period his 30th.
Wow.
So he is a 30-goal scorer.
Again.
And Matthews had scored one. He's at 39, so he'll probably get 40.
Yeah.
John Tavares is at 35. You know what? Ryan O'Reilly is back. He 3 assists tonight. So Mitch Marner is a 30-goal guy. And I mean, clearly, like we're talking about, he's the most important player on that team. I don't care if you put in 60. You ain't going to get 60 without Mitch Marner.
No. I would probably say he's probably the closest thing to Patrick Kane.
Yeah, right now, yeah. I was going to say Johnny Hockey is like right there too, but I think at this age where Mitch is at, he could clearly be like a Kaner for sure.
Yeah, like with the way that he contributes. So, listen to this. He only signed a 6-year deal, value $65 million, $10.9 million cap hit per season.
So Austin's getting $3 million more, right?
Yeah. And let me check Austin's 1 second.
That's tough.
So Marner's contract ends in 24-25.
Okay, yeah, I think he's one more year more than Austin.
That is, and that's the year when the cup goes up dramatically. I think this kid's going to be getting 12 or 14.
He should. I'm honestly surprised they didn't both get the same. They kind of came up together, if you think about it.
Yeah, I thought that they did.
Like, I mean, I would take a play out of the Hawks book with that. I'd be like, hey, you guys are the guys. We're going to give you the same matching. Clearly, they're like a Kane and Taves,
Yeah.
They get along. Probably going to be there for a while, but I would have gave them like, hey, let's take a cap friendly deal. Say we'll give you both 11 for 8, $88 million. And it seems like Matthews wanted more. So it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to keep this team together. So this is like their window. Like it's almost closed. This is a must win for them. I just don't think they can do it against Tampa, man.
Yeah.
I just think the goaltending is going to show up. Vasilevsky's going to shut the door. Could go 7, but I think with the experience the Lightning have, and Coach Cooper is clearly way better than their coach. I think it's key for something, but I got to give the edge to Tampa, man.
So here, listen to this. It's actually pretty close. He signed a 5-year, $58 million deal, and his cap hits 11.6. So the signing bonuses and the salary is pretty similar to Marner's, and his is only like 1.6 million more.
Huh. Okay. Well, it's with you gotta figure though. Tavares is on that team too, and I think he's at 12 or 13, and that it's gonna hurt each year. Each year you're going with these guys.
Yeah, he's got a 7-year, $77 million deal. His is $11 million a year.
Okay, so I don't know what.
Actually, dude, like most of these dudes signed the same contract, similar, like 11 million cap hit, signing bonuses. They each got 15.2 at the beginning, and it's gone down to like 7 million.
Oh, it's one of those Duncan Keith contracts, but I think it's legal. Like it's not.
Yeah, this one's
legit.
legal though.
Yeah. The Duncan Keith, 5-5-5-5-1-1-1, and then
right.
It's like, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play for free.
He almost played out that contract. He didn't play one season in it.
Yeah, and it hurt.
And
the
to be
Hawks,
honest
actually.
with you, dude, that's. I mean,
well, put his playoff games together, he played another 2 seasons anyway. So
right,
he did do the contract, if you want to say.
So yeah, it looks like the Maple Leafs are going to have some questions in about 2 years about what they're going to be doing with their players.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, really interesting because that's when the cap goes up big time. So they're going to see what happens there.
If they can win this playoff series, I don't know, man. I just don't see it. I thought if anything, last year was going to be the year because, obviously Matthews was scoring on every shot he took, it seemed like.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong, but I will say William Nylander was a badass in the playoffs, man. He was a bad dude. If he can play that, he needs his buddies to play like that too, though.
He does.
They all have to step up together, and they're trying. That's the intention. They're going to go out and do what they can, and sometimes just the other teams they elevate their game too. So you're playing against the best in the world too. So it's going to be interesting. But like I said, the goaltending, Samsonov, and I don't even know who Matt Murray, I think is their other goalie. Come on, man, Matt Murray is not the same guy he was in Pittsburgh, and so it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very fun. I'm going to watch probably every game of the series because. It's kind of, this is it for the Leafs if you think about it. Like this window, it's closing.
100%. Have you seen, we talked about this a little bit on the last podcast, but with an update to the possibility of 40 goal scorers this season, we've got down to, let me see here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jason Robertson, he is a 40 guy.
I'm going to say, yeah, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is at 37. He could hit it. Nathan McKinnon, William Nylander, Clayton Keller, Jordan Kyrou, Elias Peterson, Tim, how do you say it, Stutzla? Stutzla.
Yep.
Gosh, man, I got to work on that.
Yeah.
37.
You married a German.
She's she's
Austrian.
Czech. Yeah, she's Czech and Austrian and Polish.
Close enough.
Bo Horvat's at 38. Man, does this guy fly under the radar?
Bo
Horvat.
Yeah. That trade, I don't know if that trade helped him or not, though. I'm not sure. It definitely helped the Islanders. I don't know if it helped him.
He flies under the radar. Man, him and Kyle Connor. Jared McCann, 38. I wasn't expecting that. Jared McCann scoring 38.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews is at 39, I believe.
Yeah, he needs one more. Yeah, his list isn't updated.
Yeah, Andrei Kuzmenko is at 38. Mika Zibanejad is at 39. He's playing playing with Kaner, so he's going to hit 40. Mark Scheifele is at 39. Kirill the Thrill is at 39. And Matthew Tkachuk is at 39. He's going to be, I think he could be a 40 goal scorer, 66 assists, 105 points, man. He's a plus 28.
Well, look at this, man. I mean, even look at the points. There's a lot of 100-point guys.
Yeah.
And it's been a while. Usually the top three would be like in the hundreds.
Hold on. Let's get to the points in 1 second. We've got Braden Points at 48, so he could be a 50 goal scorer.
Yeah.
Leon Draisaitl is a 50 goal scorer. Mikko Rantanen. David Pastrnak could be a 60 goal scorer. He's at 57. He's a plus 32. And Connor McDavid, I'm not going to say anything. He's got 64 goals. He's got 2 games left. He could get 2 hat tricks.
That guy sucks. If he can't get 70, he sucks.
So here's something to look out for. And this is something that I've always said about Edmonton. Connor McDavid, I'm going to look at points here, is at 151 points for the season. Okay. He's a plus 22.
How is he not a plus 100?
I don't know because that's what happens with Edmonton, man. Yeah, he does put up a lot of points, but they score a lot of points on his line. The Hawks did that. Dude, Leon Draisaitl, 124 points. He's a plus 6.
Look at Cooch too. Jeez.
But here's the drop off. Cooch is 108 points. He's a 0. Even 0. Now look at the next 3. Matthew Tkachuk, David Pastrnak, and Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah.
We've got Tkachuk. He's a plus 28. Pastrnak is a plus 32. McKinnon is a plus 30. Jason Robertson is a plus 34.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
He's going to be a stud in Dallas for years.
He's a stud, man. And 20 penalty minutes. Then, just looking at Tkachuk's numbers here, 76 games played, 39 goals, 66 assists, 105 points. He's a plus 28 with 109 penalty minutes.
He's got 35 power play points.
He does. Yeah.
Are you secretly a Matthew Tkachuk fan now?
I think that
you're coming out of the closet?
I might be coming out. I have actually been more of a Brady Tkachuk fan because he seems to be more of a he's a savage.
Yeah.
But I like Matthew Tkachuk's handle for Twitter, Tkachuk Cheese.
I think I like him now that he's in Florida than a Canadian team.
Yeah,
especially like a rival of the Hawks. I mean, you could call him a rival. The Flames, they had some good playoff battles over the years and stuff.
I just can't believe. I can't believe this dude has 109 penalty minutes on 105 points. Nobody around him is even close. 35, 20, 30, 36,
well,
34.
Keep scrolling
24.
down the list. The next closest guy is Malkin at 82.
Oh, well.
And you know what?
Wow.
Tortorella has always said that guy's dirty. He thinks Malkin is dirty. He's a cheap shot guy, and maybe he's right, because that's a lot of penalty minutes for him, too. And Brady Tkachuk, his brother, actually is the closest.
124.
The Tkachuk brothers.
124. He's a minus 12, though, 79 points. He's a 35-goal scorer.
Yeah.
So, dude, unbelievable.
Well, when's the last time you've seen 8 guys in the league with over 100 points?
Dude, I can't even tell you. The 90s?
Usually it's like the top 3 guys are all, like the guys who finish
near
top
100.
3 are at 100, a little bit past 100, and that's it. Then there's a drop off to like, say, 80, 85. But man, goal scoring's way up. And these guys, the top 3 guys, it's crazy to see Cooch up there. Because I thought after all these playoff wars, he was going to just kind of fall off. And all these injuries, he's still putting up some assists.
He's played 79 games this season, so
that's good for him.
Hopefully his injuries are behind him.
Well, look at Nathan McKinnon, 66 games played, 104 points. Man, that guy's
incredible.
A tank. He's a tank.
Incredible. If he would have played all 82 games, he'd probably be a 50 goal, 80 assist guy.
Well, I could be wrong. I don't know if Landeskog was his line mate. I think they're both centers, but
I don't think it matters. Not for McKinnon.
Mikko Rantanen.
For Landeskog, it does.
Yeah, and he hasn't been on the team, and I think that's why the Avs aren't, as like last year. Oh, the Avs are winning. They're winning. They're so stacked, and like I haven't really heard anybody talk about the Avs.
Yeah,
it's gonna be curious. We'll do a season breakdown of them guys with their matchup, and we'll see how the numbers compare to their opponent. But I still think they can make some noise.
Yeah, I do too. I'm really impressed with, McKinnon's numbers, because he was hurt at the beginning of the season, but man, 66 games played, 37 goals, 67 assists, 104 points. He's a plus 30. That's really impressive.
Well, it's looking like the Avs are going to play the Wild as of now in the first round.
In that one.
Yeah. I know Fleury he's a good goalie, but he's older. Gorgiev's going to be his first year in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting for the Avs this year. Usually it's hard to go back to back. Everybody knows that. It's really, really hard. But I don't know if depending on the wild cards or anything, but Vegas, they clinched. They won the Pacific, I think. They're most likely going to play. They're at 107 points. So they're the best team in the West, man. Vegas. That's surprising.
And I was not expecting that.
I thought Edmonton would kind of work its way up. Edmonton's there's still a chance, I guess, that Edmonton could catch them. So I take that back. They haven't won the Pacific yet, but they're both at 80 games. Vegas has 107 and Edmonton has 105. So those are going to be the two top dogs, I guess you want to say, in the West. And then Dallas, man, surprising, 102. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
See if Robertson's made for the playoffs. Yeah,
man. I don't know. I think they're either going to play the Jets or they're going to play. Oh, I'm sorry. No, they're not going to play the Jets. I don't. How does this work now? Like, because I'm confused with this wild card. So Vegas would probably play the second wild card, I'm assuming, correct?
I got it.
Yeah, because they're at 107. As if it ended today, I think Vegas would play Winnipeg, and then Dallas would play Seattle, and then the Avs would play the Wild.
Oh, no, I think it'd be Edmonton.
I thought Edmonton would play LA because 2 and 3 play, and then one in like the wild cards. The first teams play the wild card. No,
let me see.
It's so confusing.
I don't know.
It's I
sure.
miss the old format 1 through 8,
Yeah,
and
too.
I know a lot of guys have said that too, like they want to go back to that, and because it could be like, I mean, look at this, because Edmonton is going to have more points than Dallas, and Edmonton's probably going to be facing the Kings, and Dallas is going to get an easier game against, say, Winnipeg or the Kraken. The Kraken clinched. Good for them. This is their second year. That's impressive, because usually expansion teams, they start
Takes
slow.
them a while.
Yeah, look at Vegas made the final their first year, and Seattle second year in. It's crazy. They're not. They're giving these clubs a chance to be successful right away. That fantasy draft is working. So, or expansion draft, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely something that works. So, good for the NHL on that.
Hawks need to lose tonight.
Yeah, Seattle. Right, a team they're not really, they don't really have good luck with. Seem to come out flat.
Yeah, they usually do, man. Them and Vegas, they usually play flat against both of them.
Yeah, I think Vegas was the first time. Last year was the first time we beat them, or maybe it was this year.
Yeah,
just had terrible luck against them.
Yeah. Columbus is at 56 points. The Blackhawks are at 56 points. Tank for Bedard. That's the status that we're at on that. I want to thank everybody for listening. We're going to have some playoff action coming to you when the Blackhawks season is over. And do us a favor, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. We really appreciate everybody listening. And let us know what you think. This is the Tomahawk. We're out of here.